Okay, so this week, guys, I'm so excited. I've gotten to watch this gentleman. Him and his girlfriend have just become absolute pros. They're some of my wife and I's absolute best friends. I watched them, come up from never doing anything like this before to growing a team now of thousands and thousands of active customers as we speak right now. An absolute monster. When we talk about people being in the field, we really pride ourselves on these calls of getting those types of people on here. And, this gentleman, like I said, is a workhorse. This is a guy that's started a ton of new teams. His biggest growth ever in his career has happened through 2020. And again, I really have been wanting to do this for a long time with him. He deserves to be able to share with you guys, and I know the value that he is going to provide. We're going to have a lot of fun with this because, like I said, he's one of my absolute best friends. Marketing director, monster team, very just inches away from R&D as we speak right now, coming from Minneapolis, Minnesota, Mr. Rico Gunn. Rico, did you make the call, bro? Looks like we got to unmute you. I got you.
Yo, can you hear me?
Hey, loud and clear, man. It's a little wacky in the transition, but champions adjust, bro. Take it away.
Let's get it, Doc. What's up? What's up, y'all? First off, I do want to say thank you for having me on this call. It's crazy being here. I do have to recognize, man, just you and your leadership doing this every single week, man. You do not have to do this, man. It just shows the servant leader that you are. And me being able to, get the privilege to share the stage with you, especially on this platform here where there's been leader after leader, legend after legend, not just in our company, but also our industry as well. And for me to be here, it's a complete honor. A blessing, and it shows I wouldn't be here without you and Crystal, man. So I'm thankful for you guys. What's up, team? What's going on, man? I'm fired up right now. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Rico Gunn, 26 years old, from Bloomington, Minnesota. Saw this concept about 6 years ago, and for me, where I just finished up playing basketball at a junior college, and I was at a point in my life where I needed something. I wasn't necessarily looking for something, but I was in a spot where there was a lot of that was going on, and I didn't really know what I didn't know. And for me, I wanted to go play basketball. That was my dream, my goal, and then some stuff ended up happening where I ended up making a decision to stay home. And literally, after a very huge thing that happened in my family happened, literally I saw World Ventures 9 days after. So July 7th, it was some stuff happened crazy. I always remember that day. And then July 16th, 2014 is when I saw World Ventures. And I didn't know what this was. I just seen an opportunity. I seen more. I seen an opportunity for me to go win at a very, very high level. It's traveling is money. We don't have to think too much about that. Everybody on this call wants to travel. Everybody in the world wants to travel. We just got to wait and go do it at the guaranteed lowest price. But the one thing that I did see was that there was people that was having fun, they were living life, and that they were winning, and they were willing to plug into me and teach me how to go make this thing happen. I know me and my work ethic, and I know me, and I'm coachable and I'm teachable, and I can do anything if I want to, if I really put my head down to it. And, I just said, why not? Let's go. I literally got sat in front of people like David and Eric Grisbowski, David Peaches, and, these are literally people making more money in a month than people I grew up with making in a year, sometimes even double in a year, you know what I mean? And it's crazy just the opportunity that was presented to me, and just the vision that I saw, and the people who I saw this from, they literally were doing this thing for, I want to say, a month in. They didn't even know what was going on. They didn't know how to do no presentations. They tried to show me a video, and, I just seen a vision with it. I said, why not? And over these last 6 years, man, this thing has been crazy. Been living, having the time of my life, been traveling the world. I went from never seeing the ocean, never seeing palm trees, to literally, we just got back a week ago from 25 of us on the squad. We all went out to a 4-diamond resort, all inclusive to Mexico, the Puerto Morelos. Beautiful resort, man. But just being out there with some of my best friends it's just been an amazing ride, and I'm more excited now than I've ever been. And we just getting started with this thing, and I'm excited, bro. So you got anything? I'm gonna pass it back to you. We can kind of just bounce back and forth, and you can kind of just tell me where you want me to go with this thing.
Yeah, bro. This is one of the reasons I've been wanting to do this for so long. Like, I absolutely love your story. And then I met you first, then I met Jess. Coming about halfway through, you being involved, and the powerhouse couple the two of you guys have become, and the monster team. But again, from a travel standpoint, like, there's so many people that are brand new. Maybe they haven't got to take a dream trip, or they're a silver member. They haven't experienced what a gold membership and above does. Like, when I met you, again, I'd never seen the ocean before. Like, and only got to travel for basketball, and that's real life. I mean, my wife, Crystal, she had only been on a plane a couple times before we had gotten started. Like, I grew up in North Dakota. We would go camping. Like, most people don't grow up just getting to go ball out and take a bunch of cool vacations. And, I've watched you, between your early to mid 20s, you've went more places than most people go in their 20s and 30s combined. It's powerful what we have our hands on, from that standpoint. And really, everyone gets so caught up trying to figure out how much money they can make. And obviously we want people to make money. But just the value that people get out of this. Like I tell people all the time, my mom has a membership. That's how good this actually is. And I know all these different trips that you've gotten to take, like, just the powerful, lifestyle change that's been able to do for you. I know you guys like, and to Hawaii and all these, I mean, you want to even rattle off like all these different places you went to?
Yeah. So we just got back from Mexico a week ago. Back in March for my 26th birthday, me and my girl went out there for my 26th birthday to Hawaii out there. It was my birthday / baby moon. We got a daughter. She turns 4 months on the 12th. We've been there. We took a 2-week tour of Asia back in October for our 4-year anniversary. Went to Cambodia, Thailand, and Bali. We've been to Paris, Jamaica, where else? We've been to the Bahamas. We've been to Haiti. We've been to the Cayman Islands. Just so many different, all around the United States as well. And it's crazy. I've been on 2 flights before World Ventures. And now, I mean, I don't even know how many flights I've been on. We've been able to just have so much fun. And, it's crazy just to think that we're just getting started. There's so many different places that we still haven't been to, so it's been awesome. It's been a time. It's definitely been a time.
And, the reason I kind of led into all that is you had all of those, memories you've already created, only in your mid 20s as we speak right now. And I think back to, that first day and that first week that you got started. I'd love to kind of, go through some of that, because there's a lot of things I think can help a lot of people through here. So start with, you almost wouldn't have got started. I mean, you kind of walk from where you were and, how that's really helped you in starting so many new teams and not accepting, people's excuses, because, we accept those excuses that their lifestyle is not going to change any. And, because you did something different, you've obviously gotten to do a lot of different things that you wouldn't have gotten to do otherwise.
Yeah, for sure. So it's crazy because my older brother, which as well, my older brother tried to show me World Ventures when I was a senior in high school. I was 18 at the time, and I didn't even give him the time of day. He started talking about travel, money. I was about to go play basketball in college. I'm like, man, get out of my face. And literally 2 years later, one of my homegirls hit me up, said I'm excited about something, and she tried to show me, and I almost didn't even let them show it to me. We really just had a conversation, but there's the saying, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. I was in a spot where I needed something different, but I didn't even have the money to get started at the time. And they said, look, I was 20 years old, didn't have the money to do something that I really wanted to go and do. And that right there hit me crazy, and I knew, and, I've always grown up like, hey, look, in order for you to get something different, you have to do something different. I've always known as well that, if you want a certain type of lifestyle, a 9 to 5 can't really get, you can only do so much with a 9 to 5. You had to do something different. That's why I really pursued basketball, so I could get overseas, play professionally. But when I got started with this, I didn't really just sign up. I knew that if I was going to do this, if I was going to sign up, put my money into something, I was really going to go and take this serious enough to go and win, to go and see if I can get the value that, they're telling me that I can go and get. And my first 2 days, I got my 4 people, waived my monthly membership fees. First 4 days, I signed up 6 people. At the time, we're selling a lot higher than $25 memberships. I made my money back in a profit. I was able to hit senior rep in 37 days. We got off to a really, really fast start, but I just made that decision. And I knew one thing going into this, that my friends weren't going to believe everybody else. They were going to believe me. My friends wasn't going to sign up with World Ventures. They were going to be signing up with me. And I knew that from the get-go. Everybody who I showed, like, hey, look, this is the vehicle, this is the product, this is what we can go and this is what we're gonna go and use to go and get here. But trust me, follow me, I got this. I didn't know if I really had it in the beginning, but I just told people that I was going, and I knew that I was gonna be able to go and put in the work to go there some way, because I was following people who's already been there. And I just said, come on, let's go. And we just went through the numbers, and I was just telling people, like, look, we're going here. We're gonna be able to go and travel. We're gonna go make some money with this thing. We're gonna go and make this thing happen. And I didn't know exactly where I was going, but I seen a lot of people that was going this way. And I'm like, look, they're going towards success. They're going towards freedom. They're going towards a certain type of lifestyle that I've always wanted. So I'm following them. And I just put my trust into you guys, into the leadership, and just the company. We're talking about travel here. We're talking about exposing our friends, our family to stuff that we've all wanted. We just never really knew was actually possible, and I just fell in love with that concept because I can bring everybody with me, and never in my life have I ever seen anything like this before. ever. You know, you go get a job, you got to go work by yourself. There's a lot of stuff out here where you have to go and be, you know, it's you. Here, this is us here. You know, in order for me to win, I have to help as many people win as possible. And I've always grown up with that mentality. I mean, you know that as well. You know, it's always a family for me. This is a family thing that we all do things together. I mean, nobody gets left behind, and that's something that we really take seriously here, and that's what I love. And just the company, the leadership that we have. I mean, it's just epitome of that. So I'm excited.
Well, and yeah, I want to really like even step back to that first day again when you got started, Rico. Like people, Crystal and I talk about this all the time. We try to get this across. You know, again, there's a $25 membership now, so this doesn't even apply. If you don't have 2 10s and a 5, I mean, I don't know what to say at this point to you. But we're talking where something's, you know, $100, $200, $300 to get started, and you know, for someone in their early 20s, like I remember, like you were having to spend your last dollars to get started, and you know, we always talk about, well, don't you feel bad having to have people do it? This might be one of the things, you know, there's 450 on here listening right now. A whole bunch are going to listen to this on the recording. If you feel bad taking, you know, someone's last dollar, you don't understand the value of what this can do. And that's why I had Rico really go through all of those experiences that him and, you know, people like his mom and his best friends from high school and his girl and, you know, now his kids are going to get to experience. If he didn't do something like this, if he didn't spend his last dollars to do something different, there's definitely no guarantee he would have had, you know, everything and be in the position that he's in right now and continuing to go into. So you have to understand, when you're getting people started, you are providing value to them. They're not providing the value to you by paying X number of dollars to get started. You have the value, you have the opportunity, and you have to know what you have your hands on. I gladly will take somebody's last dollar to get started, because I know if this is their last dollar to get started with as little as this, I'm not telling them to go, you know, have to take $1 million loan to start a Taco Bell franchise. I'm talking, dude, don't go buy a pair of Jordans and you got everything covered to go start a business and go change your life. Don't just sit and play play 2K all day long. Don't just watch Netflix all day long. Let's go do something different so you're not living check to check. And that's the come from that we have. And like, that's what I would encourage all of you, you know, this is something Rico and I have gotten really good at over the years, you know, because him and I start a lot of new teams, and it's knowing the value that we have in this company and what this can do for them. You know, again, put yourself in Rico's shoes. Spend your last dollar to get started, but then have all those experiences and be in a position now where, you know, he gets to be a stay-at-home dad. Instead of having to go and get daycare, I don't think they've paid for daycare one time for their baby girl in the months and months that she's been around already. Now, maybe that's not your goal. That's, you know, something I knew was important to him and Jess. We all do it for our own reasons, but my point is, if you don't get good at something like this, how's life dramatically going to get different in a positive way? Like most of my family and friends that didn't join with me 7, 8, 9 years ago, their life is the exact same, if not even a little bit worse than what it was back then. Again, if you want something different, you have to do something different. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. If you want to get in really good shape and you've been going to the gym, I'm almost speaking to myself a little bit on this because I've watched this happen in my own life for years. I go to the gym consistently, but if I don't change what I'm eating, well, who gives, like maybe at best I'm going to maintain. You guys all understand, if my goal is to get this really rock hard, perfect 6-pack, and I go to the gym 5 days a week and I'm putting the work in, but I continue to eat like crap outside of that 1 hour, 5 days a week at the gym, at best I'm going to maintain. But if I go and I do everything that it's going to take, if I change the diet and I'm doing the right thing with the exercise, chances are I can get, a better shape than what I'd be. I mean, business and finance and all, you can apply that to any area of your life. You got to figure out what you want and then you got to go do it. I watched our director of training, Mark Setta, post something on social media yesterday about this, where success, there's nothing glamorous about it. It's doing the same thing that you know you need to do day after day and stay consistent with it. And Rico, we talk about that all the time, man. Like, if people know what it takes, this business, it's not easy. It's simple, but it's not easy. Like what it takes to go and grow, some of the growth we've grown, in 2020, with our teams, it was simple, but it wasn't easy. And, everybody knows what it takes to do, they just don't consistently go and do it. Same thing again at the gym. You know you need to not eat this and you should eat that instead. You know you need to go and get on this treadmill or lift these weights. We know what it takes to do. It's just a lot of times we don't discipline ourselves enough to go and do it. And that's what I love with something like this. You can discipline yourself here, and you can still do it from home. You can still do it through Zoom calls. You can still plug into trainings like this from the comfort of your own home. You know, we're putting, you know, these on, and it's going all across the world for free right now. We have, you know, it's not that people lack the knowledge. It's just having to go and put that work in day out. So maybe talk about what your day looks like day in, day out, and what, you know, what this year has looked like in building these new teams.
Yeah, for sure. In the house, Zoom after Zoom after Zoom. You know, just going back to what you just said. I mean, it's this business is simple. It's super simple. You know, but a lot of people, I feel like a lot of people know what they have to do, but they don't want to put in that work. They don't want to put in that sacrifice because, you know, sometimes it's fear. You know, because we know who we are, we know what type of person that we really want to go and be. But sometimes that fear aspect of, can I go and do it? You know, and if I do go put in this work, am I going to be successful, or am I going to go and am I not going to be successful? Because, you know, and it's just like, for me, my days, literally there's days where I'm in the house 12 hours straight, just Zoom after Zoom after Zoom, call after call, just plugging into my team. You know, I really just focus on just the numbers, you know, helping as many people win as possible. You know, there's a lot of times where, you know, I'm sending out messages. I just call my team all day. If we don't have anything going on, I'm just on the phone with my leaders. I'm just plugging into them, getting them even more fired up. But, you know, realistically, 90% of my time is really going and trying to start new teams, you know, and new teams. I mean, new blood is the lifeblood, you know, and that's just something that we really go and pride off of. And I think that's why we're winning so much. And that's why we are really going as fast as we are, because, you know, we're constantly trying to go and build new teams over and over and over. You know, we're still helping the squad, but it's just about leading from the front. It's about leading by example and constantly just getting out there, trying to create something so everybody can see what's going on. And if you're leading from the front, the people that's behind you, they're going to have to catch up. If you get far enough ahead, they're going to have to do some type of work to catch up even a little bit, you know? And so for me, you know, when I wake up, I got a 4-month-old baby, you know, thank God Jess is here, because, you know, it takes a lot of pressure off of me, you know, just so I can kind of focus when I need to focus here. But, you know, I just constantly just, you know, I'm plugging into my team on the phone, on FaceTime. Jess gets mad at me sometimes because I'm talking to my team so much, but I'm just trying to just, you know, I need my squad. I need, you know, the fire. I need to stay plugged in as well, because if I don't, you know, we're all real people here. It's cool. My mind is the most dangerous thing, but it's also, you know, the best thing that I have, because I know that, you know, in order for me to be plugged in and to stay around the fire, and I can be on fire for everybody else who needs me. You know, I got an alarm on my phone. I wake up every morning at 8 o'clock. It says, who needs my A game today? You know, and that just wakes me up right then and there, because, you know, you just never know. That one day where you want to just sit back, relax, chill, you got to understand, it's like, if you go sign somebody up, you told them something and they signed and they trusted you, because they feel like they trusted you enough that we're going to be able to go and change their life, you know. And something that you said earlier, I remember years ago, you know, when you're talking about, okay, cool, if I'm sitting in front of somebody and this is their last dollar, they're struggling, where it's like, sometimes I used to think like, dang, okay, cool, should I get them started? They want to get started, but this is their last dollar. I know they got to eat for the rest of the week. And it's like, now today, give me your money and let's go to work here. And because I know in the next couple weeks, if not, you know, months from now, what your life can go and look like, and what we're going to go and be able to go and create, and what this is going to do, and just the value. You know, I tell my team all the time that it doesn't matter if you make $1 in World Ventures. Your lifestyle is going to change. You're going to have more fun. You're going to get around some dope people. You're going to get around some people that's going to push you and propel you and your life on a whole different type of plane, you know, and you know, that's something that I get excited about. And just having that confidence, having the consistency, you know, I try to be as consistent as possible, because you just never know what's going to happen. You never know who's going to be who's going to come into your business, but you have to be ready. I was on the phone with one of my brothers, Moose, last night, and we were talking about this. It's like, you know, if you want this to work, if you want this to really go and blow up, you have to be ready. There's people that sign up every single day who can go and put in thousands of people, but if you're not ready, they're going to sign up and then they're going to slip through the cracks. You have to be ready, and you have to be the person that they're going to be able to, one, not only follow, but you have to go and show them what this thing is and how to go and really, you know, build this business at a high level. Because if you don't, and you let a baby, quote unquote, which is a new person, is a baby because they don't know how to walk yet, they don't know how to talk, they don't know how to eat by themselves. Same exact thing here is when you sign somebody up, they're a baby. Okay, you can't allow your babies to go and teach other babies as well. You have to be there. Everybody who signs up is your personal. Just have that mindset. When you have that mindset that everybody who signs up into my business is my personal, okay, treat them as that, but also bring in your leaders too, so you can show them, hey, look, this is what I'm doing, and walk them through, hey, look, so when this person gets started, this is what I do. Okay, I'm going to help them go show one person as soon as possible. If they show one person as soon as possible, they're going to get the feeling, they're going to get the process of what it looks like to put this in front of somebody, so they're a lot more comfortable. And that's one thing that I really focus on. I know it's kind of going off the topic, but just be on fire, be the person that's ready all the time, not just 3 days a week, not just 2 days a week, not, sitting around all day playing a game and all of a sudden when somebody hits you up, now you're getting like, look, you have to be here. You have to be ready. You have to be on fire and just stay around the fire too. Cause that's one thing that helps me all the time because we're real people. We get distracted. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world. It's kind of opening up, kind of not really, but it's just like, there's a lot of stuff that we can go and do, but you have to stay solid. You got to remember what you're doing this thing for. Remember your why. Why are you really doing this? And that's one of the biggest things about, for me, it's like, I constantly remind myself of why am I waking up in the morning to go and show more people? It's like we're putting in numbers and numbers and numbers where sometimes I can sit back, and I can, just kind of just do a little bit more things over here because stuff is still moving. But when it comes down to this, there's always another level that we can go and get. There's always somebody else who is looking at you and for guidance, that's looking for you to help change a situation where you always have to be there. You always have to be on fire. You always got to be mentally strong and prepared because you never know what's going to happen in your business. And, I remember, I want to say 2 weeks ago, you were talking about when HV, marketing director in our squad, I remember you were talking about how, I know you, okay? You doing a Zoom call at 2:00 in the morning, you're sleeping, you know what I mean? And I remember the night that he signed up and, I hopped on for a taxi even then, it's just like, you were talking about how you just never know who's gonna get shown this business to, and what they're gonna go and do. Okay, you never really know exactly what's gonna happen until you never know if you have a good meeting until 2-3 years later. You know what I mean? And that right there, it's like you could have been like, hey, look, we can do it tomorrow, and miss your opportunity to go and show him. But you just never know, and you just have to be able to just put in that sacrifice, lose a couple hours of sleep. Oh well, you got to understand if you go get really, really good at this and you go put in the work, you can, you sacrifice a little bit of time to have the rest of your life off to be able to choose what you really want to go and do. And yeah, I'm just gonna pass it back to you, bro.
Gold, so much gold in all of that. And what I really realized, I've never articulated it this way, and you just helped me understand this. Going back to, if you feel bad signing people up, like taking their last dollar, whatever. The reason someone really, I just figured it out. The reason someone will feel bad, this might step on some toes, but it's because deep down, you're not going to go work hard to actually help them make this work. So you're feeling bad signing them up because yeah, I'm actually just going to sign up and then hope you're a lottery ticket and you figure it all out on your own. Whereas the person that takes that last dollar knows, you give me last dollar because there ain't nothing you can spend this money with that's going to change your life the way I know I can, the way I know we as a squad can, the way this company can. See the difference in that? It's, you have to know the value you have with this. This is a lot more than a $25 membership. This is a lot more than, talking about making some big income and everything else. You're getting around people that are going to build you up. You're going to get around people that are going to hold you accountable. The reason our team wins, Rico, it's crazy the numbers that have been going in, over the last even few days here. And it's because we have a bunch of, hungry, hardworking, competitive people, and again, that high tide rises all boats, and we stick together. We keep that family with all that. But I think back, like you're saying, it's so good. You can't expect these new people, our newborn babies, to take care of each other. Like you have a 2.5, 3-year-old dog, Java Beans, one of my favorite dogs in the world. So Java's living over at the house, and then baby Oakland comes in. Do we expect Java to go take care of baby Oakland? Like, hey, bro, you been here longer? All you, go feed the baby. I'm tired. I'm going to hang out here right now. Of course not. That'd be craziness. Now, when you got multiple kids, you're not expecting the toddler to take care of the newborn. But there can come a time where all of a sudden, the oldest can help take care of some of the youngest. You're an amazing older brother, Rico, a perfect example of that, of just being a great role model to your younger siblings. But you weren't expected to do that when you could hardly take care of yourself. This business is the same way. And people, so many times in the beginning, and honestly, so many times, even when people start to get into a leadership role, they want the lottery ticket. I get it. We all want the lottery ticket. But you can't cash your lottery ticket in too early. Here's what I mean by that. In the beginning, you can't sign someone up and say, oh, I hope this is my ace, go get him. No, you be the ace and you drag their happy little butt with you. See the difference of that? You get a squad going. You don't go, ooh, I really hope this keeps going and what got me to senior rep is going to get me to director now. No. If you had what was going to get you to director, you'd already be a director. You need to keep leading by example. You need to keep dragging these people along with you. But at the same time, I want you to understand, the lottery ticket does get cashed in. I tell David Peach all the time, Dr. Peach, I don't ever want you to feel bad if you're not, quote unquote, working as hard as some other people, because he has earned the right to do that, because he built it so big and so far past that when he wants to all of a sudden be a full-time stay-at-home dad with his 3 kids, if he wants to, help and coach and mentor versus start 30 new teams, he has earned the right to do that because he paid the price. Here's the key: long enough. But so many people, they pay the price for a week. They pay the price for a month. They pay the price for a year, and then they want the rest of their life off. I wish it worked that way, but getting rich is the hardest thing you're ever going to go and do. That's what all my mentors keep telling me. One of the hardest things you're ever going to do. Why? Because you have to stay consistent long enough. If you went and had a monster week, it's not that hard to have a monster month. You have to go have that monster week and do that same activity again. If you had a monster month, it's not that hard to have a monster year. Like people are trying to figure out, Rico, what our team's doing. It's because we had a monster week back in January and we continued to pile that on. And then the COVID stuff hit and we had a monster week in March, and then we had a monster month in April, and we just continued going. And we're not taking our foot off the gas because we know what we've done now is great, but where we can go is that much more. And you have to speak that life into your team the same way. Your team needs to feel that they can count on you to get on a call. They need to feel that if their friend's friend all of a sudden really wants to make this thing happen, even more than the caliber they can have, you're going to be there to help them. That's how you get all of this stuff going. It's not that you have to do every call by yourself. It's not that you have to do every single thing all on your own, but you need to lead by example enough and be there for the ones that want to run. You walk with the walkers, you crawl with the crawlers, and you run with the runners. And eventually you're going to find someone that wants to sprint. But again, just like you said, bro, you got to be ready for that. Seriously, guys, there are Rico Gunns that come into your team. There are David Helgesons that come into your team and they slip right through the cracks. Why? Because you weren't ready to run with that Hiram Velez sprinter. And so if he doesn't know any different at the beginning, remember, these are newborn babies. They don't know any different. And sometimes we have, for those of you that have been around for years, you got to forget a lot of what you know. See, we used to think getting your 4 in your first week or something was like this big deal. We help people get their 4 the same day they join all the time. But you have to switch what it was. Rico hit director in how many days? Or I'm sorry, senior up in how many days?
37 days.
37 days. That was really, really fast back then. Now we have a guy that's about to, in less than 60 days, hit marketing director in our team. So again, when times change, stories can change. So if you didn't go and hit marketing director in 60 days, what's stopping you from being able to have someone on your team go and do that? You got to get out of your own way. See, you can't put what you're doing onto everybody else. So you get started and maybe you're only willing to put in 2 hours a week. Well, what happens if you get someone that's willing to go put 20 hours a week in? You got to be ready to get a little on balance and don't just cap people down. And, that's a lot of stuff I'm thinking with what we're going through, Rico. And I'd love to go even back to that. So you hit senior rep really fast, hit that big lifestyle bonus really fast, and then cruised up to director. And then we, again, like all of us, had a plateau. What did it look like or what lessons did you learn that helped you from the success you had early? And then one of the reasons I respect you so much is you had success early. And then when you have obstacles and it doesn't just go up, 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 up. See, I almost don't care when people on my team have quick success. Like, I love you guys. For those of you who are having really quick success, you've been in for a couple days, awesome. I don't have a clue if you have any toughness yet. And I can't wait for you to get punched in the face. I cannot wait for somebody to quit your team. I can't wait for somebody to tell you you're an idiot for doing this. I can't wait for 5 people to quit your team in one day because I want to find out what you're really made out of. Again, if this was easy, everybody would do it. If it just goes up, 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 rock and roll, I want to see you go like this. I want to see you fall down and see if you can get back up. Those are the people we like working with. And again, that's why I have so much respect for Rico and for, the leaders that have just been, I can see a lot of these names on here, even people that aren't on my team. There's a lot of hard charging, sharp people, leaders in World Ventures that they are tough as nails. They got that rhino skin. They can take a punch and keep going. And that's what it takes. And again, you've done that, like a lot of the top leaders in World Ventures. maybe talk on what that looked like and how that prepared you for, 2020 being even bigger than anything you had done before.
Yeah, of course. I became a leader. I became a better person. I learned how to communicate with people. I learned how to really, stop thinking about me and my success and really, start helping my team and start being, start leading from the front. Because I remember when I plateaued, I went into management mode, trying to help too many people. I just like, hey, look, go, 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 instead of like me leading from the front again. And, it's crazy because, that plateau is the reason why I'm here today. And if I didn't go through that, me and Moose, he gonna be mad at me for talking about this, but Moose was talking about this, in the track profession, okay? Or just track period. He talks about a yellow bus, you know what I mean? And he talks about the yellow buses where you get beat up. It's really the plateaus where you get beat up, you get like you're in the trenches, you're doing Zoom after Zoom, sometimes you're doing invite after invite, nobody's coming to you, nobody's signing up, none of that. And it's like the yellow bus is when you're here, you're going down. And then you get to this point where you have to sit and you have to rest and you have to, it's not so much of a rest, but the rest that he's talking about when it comes to track is you have to eat good, you have to sleep good, you have to really get stronger mentally. So, when it comes down to the championship race, you're ready for it, and for me, when I went on that plateau, quote unquote plateau, it wasn't a plateau. I mean, I was still reading. I was still doing my invites. I was still doing, meeting after meeting, plugging in, trying to figure out exactly what I need to do. But it's really just that step back, like, okay, cool. Let me analyze, who am I? Because this is not working. It's not going as fast as I wanted to, because I have to change. Okay. Don't wish that things were easier. Wish you were better, and I really had to come to, I really had to take a step back, like, okay, cool. I have to become the leader in order to be able to go and hit this next rank. There was an audio that I used to listen to all the time. And it's a guy, I forgot his name right now, but he talks about becoming an IMD. You don't hit IMD, you become an IMD. And I used to listen to it all the time because I was trying to go on my director run, marketing director. I mean, every run that I've always wanted to go, I've always had this in the back of my head. Is like, I have to become that person in order for the numbers to catch up, okay? Your numbers will never outgrow your personal development, And so when I hit on that, I got off to a fast start, what I thought, and got smacked in the face crazy. But I just had to really grow myself in order to be able to, be ready for this next run. And, it took me I went from director to marketing director. It took me 4 years, but that was probably the best 4 years of my life. I was still traveling. I was still doing Zoom calls, travel parties back in the day, felt like a dinosaur. But it's just like, it's crazy, man, because it's just like, I really had to grow. And what it looked like is, I became a better person. I became a better leader. Now, I'm a father now. I became a better brother, son. And it's just like, it's crazy just looking at who I am today versus who I was 6 years ago when I got started with this. It's night and day, it's crazy, but the one thing that really fires me up about this is that, I am here right now. And I've learned so much, and I really had to become a professional. And I had to, change my perspective that this is not something I'm just playing around with. This is not something that, it's kind of like basketball. It's like, when you're better than average, but if you want to go and play professionally, you have to get in the trenches. You have to dig the ditch and really go to the gym every single day. You have to go get in the gym, shoot. You got to work on your fundamentals. You have to get good. And that's one thing that I really I've been trying to do is really just, become a professional when it comes down to this industry. And once you make that decision and once you make that flip in your head, like, okay, cool, this is not just something that we're having fun with, that we can make a little bit of money. This is something that I can go and create a profession with, or a career if you want to, and it's just like, once you make that decision, then everything else just starts to move out the way, and you get really, really focused, and you start really taking this a lot more serious, because you start seeing a bigger vision of what this thing can really go and turn into, So that plateau is everything I needed. That little break that I had from, the success that I had early, I needed that to be who I am today. And I mean, look, we just getting started now, and I'm more excited now because I'm around some dogs. The team that we have now is that, it's competition, but it's friendly. We all want to win together. We're competing with each other. It's the best type of competition, though, because we all push each other. We all talk to each other every single night. Sometimes, you get dirty, you get beat up. Even today, like, you get up here, it's crazy. So you have to have people, like, who are you plugging into? Who are you calling? I mean, if you go get a no, are you sitting there by yourself? And most people, if you don't plug into somebody, if you don't have an upline, if you're not utilizing your upline, I'm telling you now, you're probably going to quit. And I mean, I know we got a lot of new people on here. I'm telling you now, if you do not use the team, if you do this by yourself, this will not work. You have to plug into us. We know what we're doing with this, okay? We're not the best of the best yet, but I'm telling you now, we're on our way there now. And we've been through the trenches. We've learned how to really go and make this happen, you know, as much as we could. And I'm telling you now, we can help you go and avoid all the things that we did and messed up and all the failures, quote unquote, that we've had, so you can skip that and just get to where, you know, where we're going a lot faster, you know. And my dog Musa was talking about earlier, you know, literally we were talking about it last night, and just talk about teachable and coachable. He's probably one of the most teachable and coachable guys I've ever, you know, seen in his business, where, you know, he was just literally talking about that as well. Is that how did he go and hit marketing director in 75 days? Okay, he was listening to David. He was listening to the upline. He was always calling us, you know, constantly. Hey, look, so when I do this, what should I be looking for? Hey, you know, when I get people started, what do I need to be looking for? Or you know, when I have a lot of Zooms, what do I need to be doing? You know, he's just teachable, coachable. We told, hey, look, don't do this instead. Hey, don't do this instead. He's teachable, coachable. That's the reason why he's having the success that he's had, is because he's utilizing everybody around him, and everybody who's been doing this a lot longer. He's learning from them because they have already went down a certain path, and he's just following the trail, you know. And that's what we have here for everybody on this call right now. You know, we've been through some crazy stuff when it comes down to this here, but we've learned, so we can help you get there a lot faster, you know. And I'm still student mode, you know. It's always student mode. You know, I mean, we're just getting started with this. And David, I mean, bro, look, without you, bro, I would not be here, you know. And I mean, we've been doing this thing, you know. A lot of people don't know this, but, you know, you find people who have what you want, do what they do, you'll get what they got, okay? Stay around those types of people. A lot of people don't know this, man, but I moved right down the hall from him. He's not leaving me ever, you know what I mean? But, you know, that's all you got to do, is just, you have to plug in. You have to, you know, stay around, you know, the people who've already done it before and learn from them constantly. Because if you don't, you're going to veer off. You're going to get into the real world that's negative. That's a lot of people that have a lot of stuff going on. Here, you stay in Wayne's world. I'm telling you, man, you can do anything you want to, for real.
Bro, that's straight heat. And there's so much good stuff, you know, packed in there. Seriously, we could have broken this to 2 calls already. This chat is blowing up. Everyone's getting a ton of value. I love how you even talked about making this a career, because I really want you guys all to think of this. Start with the end in mind. See, I believe one of the reasons that Rico and my team have blown up in 2020 is we started with the end in mind. So many people get so caught up with what's right in front of their face. They get the shiny what's happening next week. And, you know, Eric Gersbowski, he's taught us this from day one. You have to learn about delayed gratification. So if you want to go make a whole bunch of money quick, there's other things you can do to do that. I am not worried about quick money. I'm worried about long-term, stable, recurring residual income money. So understand, when you get on these calls, where we're coming from is showing you how you on a part-time basis can take this to a full-time, stable residual income. How you can take this and turn this truly into a career. Again, I went to school for 8 years, got a doctorate, never went and practiced. Not because I didn't graduate, not because I dropped out, not because I couldn't. My wife and I chose not to be traditional business owners and start a chiropractic office. We chose to make this a full-time career because we believed it was worth getting good at. There are people here, we are here not because we have to. You're not here because you're getting paid a certain number of dollars an hour. We are all here because we choose to be, because we want to be here. We are all on this call right now, not because you were forced to get on, but because you want to make this work. You want to make this work not only in September of 2020, but you want what you do the rest of 2020 to still matter in 2023. That's why I take this serious. You know, I don't say this to impress upon anyone. My wife and I's residual income has went up at least 4 figures 7 months in a row during a global pandemic. Talking about just the bare minimum, not even we're talking the bare minimum membership, not even the other memberships, not even what's coming with DreamBody, not even with all these other things that can continue to help. I'm talking bare minimum, just doing the simple thing over and over and over. I watched Rico Gunn put over 1,000 people on his pay leg in a matter of a couple months, just doing the simple thing over and over again. Why? Because we start with the end in mind. We start with, what can we build now that can continue going weeks, months, years from now? You guys all realize if you got really good at this, you could will this to your children. Like, this is literally a business you can will off. So you build up a big downline. Like, and again, I'm here with the godfather of world ventures, Mr. Byron Schrag. He's been doing this for 15 years. Been an entrepreneur his entire life. I'm out here in a part of Colorado nobody knows about. Unless you're a full-time entrepreneur that's got a whole bunch of money, you would never even know about the town that I'm in right now, because it's only those kind of people that end up out here. But I've watched, people that paid a price and they're still continuing to reap the benefits of that well over a decade and a half later. That's why we choose to do this. That's why we're on this call, is to get good at this, not only now, but in the long term. So as we wrap up, Rico, I would love, because you are a perfect example of that. You didn't care how long it was going to take. You were just going to continue to do the right thing over and over and continue to turn this into a career, to turn this into a full-time career, to turn this into a full-time income, to turn this into life-changing generational type income. And we're on that path right now. If you're talking to somebody, again, there's still 450 people on this call right now as we speak. Whole bunch are going to listen to this recording. I want you to talk to that person that was in your shoes, in our shoes at the beginning of 2020, where we said, you know what? There's never going to be a right time. We might as well make right now the right time. We know what it's going to take. We have all these tools. You want to stay around the campfire? Get on these calls every Saturday. Get on the regional training. You can register at wveventreg.com. That's coming this next Saturday. Get back on here on this exact same call 2 weeks from now. Get on these individual Zoom calls. Be talking and FaceTiming to your team. Talk to your upline. Stay plugged in on the Facebook group. Stay plugged in on the group chat. Stay around the campfire. And if you're that person that wants to go for it, Rico, I would love to put yourself back into that position right as we were starting to really make this run, which has been the biggest run we've done so far. I have no doubt it won't be the biggest run we've ever done. As of right now, it's the biggest run we've been a part of. But I want you to put yourself back to that and talk to that person. This is only going to be a handful of people that are listening right now, but what do you want with that? Oh, we got to unmute you. Got it.
Good. You hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So basically, what I would say, for a select few, I mean, like you just said, we're not talking to everybody. We're not talking to everybody on this call. We're talking to literally probably like 1, maybe 2% of people that's hearing my voice right now. Okay. If you really want to make this run, okay, 1, you have to stop playing with yourself. Okay. You have to really make that. You have to really talk to yourself about what you really want. I mean, think about it like this, man. What's the alternative? Weigh it out. Talk to yourself. Tell yourself, okay, cool. If I do this, what does it look like? If I do this, what does it look like? If you go and build this business and you really make that decision to dig the ditch and really just go build this thing brick by brick, and you really going to make this thing happen, what does it look like? For the people who really want to, okay, the thing that I did, okay, was, we had conversations about, when the pandemic actually started, how we're talking about, man, thank God we built the residual income the last 5+ years, and we have a residual income that if we don't go put in any more sales, we still have some income coming in, and I remember we was having that conversation about making that decision, like, man, forget that. Why not? Let's go crazy with this thing, and the one thing that I did is that, I made a decision. I said, no, look, this is not going to happen. Okay. My business is not about to go backwards. Okay. And I just made a decision. Good thing, COVID, honestly, for me, was probably one of the best things that happened. And, at the time my girl was pregnant, so we couldn't leave. So I had to literally sit in the house all day, every day, was not going outside. Only time I was going outside was take my dog out. I wasn't going anywhere. I literally just made that decision. Like, look, I have to get this thing done. Okay. If you want to go and make this thing happen, you have to make some type of decision where, a commitment. You have to sacrifice. If you sacrifice one season to call everybody in your phone, it's not going to be easy. I'm not saying it's easy. It's going to be tough, especially just what the world is looking like right now, where you can go outside a little bit. You can go to meet up with other people, go to maybe, grab drinks, go to restaurants. You have to sacrifice something. Okay. Cause I'm telling you now, if you don't, okay, you are going to be in a similar position 5 years from now, and you're going to get passed up. There's going to be somebody who makes millions and millions, if not billions of dollars with World Ventures. That's just where my vision is with this thing, because we're in the travel industry. There's going to be somebody who wins at a very, 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 very high level that changes not only their life, but generations upon generations. Somebody is going to win. Why not you? Why not? Get out of your own way. My coach used to tell me that all the time. I had no clue what that meant back when I was playing basketball, but he said, stay out of your way. We used to look at him like, what are you talking about? I'm not in my way. What are you talking about? But now today, that's it. You are the only person that's holding you back from greatness. You're the only person that's holding you back from success. You're the only person that's holding you back from picking up that phone and calling everybody in your phone and showing them. It don't matter about what you're going to say. Okay. It's about how you say it. Okay. You can say the wrong thing and still get people to sign up here. All you have to do is you have to be on fire. You have to make that decision. When they hear it in your voice, when they hear that urgency, and when they hear that aggressiveness for you being successful, for you changing your life, I'm telling you, they're gonna follow. Okay. I mean, every time you call or every time you text somebody, I'm telling you, there's a sale. It's either they're gonna get on a Zoom and listen to what you got to say, or they're gonna sell you on why they're not going to, because they're busy sitting there playing 2K, sitting there making TikTok videos. I'm telling you now, if you want to make this decision, if you want to make a decision, you have to just talk to yourself in the mirror and say, what do I really want? And don't play around, because at the end of the day, you go to sleep with yourself. You talking to yourself, you giving up on yourself. It's just about, you do anything else. I remember when I was playing sports, okay, cool, I'm in practice. I can go hard, or I could just go stay at everybody else's level, still go hard. But at the end of the day, I'm not getting better. I'm cheating myself. Okay. Here, same exact thing. If you don't do what you need to do here, okay, because everything here is behind closed doors. We get paid in public for what we do behind closed doors and what we do in private. Okay. So here, if you're not working on yourself, if you're not making calls, if you're not calling your upline to learn more, I'm telling you now, time exposes everything, and that's the one thing that, when we first got started in the pandemic run, I would say, is that, we really just hunkered down. I mean, I remember there was times I'm living right down the hall from you, and we didn't talk for 2 days because we're doing so many Zooms, back to back to back. And, you have to make a decision that you're ready for it. And don't just make that decision to say, hey, look, I'm ready. No, you really have to put in that action. You have to put in the work, because if you don't work here, okay, if you do not work, this will not work. I promise you that. Perfect people don't win here. People who do it win. Okay, and I promise you, if you do this, it's going to be worth it. Everybody on this call, listen to my voice. You are capable. You're worthy to go and make this thing happen. And let's just go do it, man. Why not? If not this, then what? That's it. If not this, then what? So look, man, David, I know it's noon now here on our time. Thank you for having me on this call, man. Everybody here, thank you for plugging in, staying on this call. Thank you for allowing me to hopefully I added some value to you guys. Man, I'm ready to get to work. I'm ready to get back in these trenches. And everybody here, let's go crazy. Dub V need us. So let's show up. Let's go, y'all. 2020, we in the last quarter. So thank y'all. Love y'all, David. You're a rock star, bro.
Hey, I'm ready to drop that mic for you. Holy, Rico, seriously, I cannot wait for the regional trainings to get back live. You are going to be such a blessing to thousands and thousands of people all across North America. Cannot wait for you to get to come to a city near somebody listening here right now. It has been an honor to watch you growing over the years, and we just getting warmed up. So everybody jumping on, thank you so much. I hope everyone has a great weekend. Again, next Saturday, we will not be on here. You can go to wveventreg.com to get plugged into our World Ventures regional training event. We do these every Saturday if there's not a World Ventures regional or national event. Yes, Rico?
So letting y'all know, the GPN culture trip is the 25th to the 28th, New Orleans. Don't miss that, y'all. That's all.
We got fun coming up for sure. So that's going to be in a couple weeks here as well. And then again, if you want the recording of this, you can just go to my YouTube channel. It's just my first name, last name, David Helgeson. We'll get that into some of the major Facebook groups. But again, on YouTube, that'll be up within the next hour as well. And again, please continue to spread the word on the new number and the new website to get plugged in. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Have a great Labor Day. God bless, guys. See you in a couple weeks.